Many of you may be wondering, why does suddenly China develop cold feet when it agreed to disengage at LAC in February this year? Breakthrough in pulling troops and equipment by both sides at Pangong Lake could not be followed at other points at LAC like Gogra, Hot Spring and Depsang Plains in 11th round of India-China Corps Commanders level meeting. Sources say China first want de-escalation before disengagement. That means pulling back additional troops brought in as backup to those on the front line. What is China's real game plan? What makes China so assertive and aggressive at LAC? What is the best strategic solution for India at LAC? I, Shailesh Kumar, would like to present my own view and brief analysis of the situation. Should you be interested, kindly consider subscribing my channel, National Defense, and proceed further. People's Republic of China wants de-escalation before disengagement so that it has an edge over India in calling back its troops to frontline owing to a much modern and exceedingly far developed border infrastructure. But why would China want to bring back troops when de-escalation and disengagement complete? The answer lies where it started. It was China that initiated the incursion and transgression into Indian territory. India is only defending its territory. The overture and aggression by Chinese PLA lies in the fact that there is a growing nationalistic fervor in China to reunify Taiwan with mainland China. The race for 5G could have expedited Chinese dreams of annexing Taiwan into mainland. Taiwan is the world leader in manufacturing semiconductors that essentially supply for Apple iPhone and iPads. Controlling Taiwan would relegate other 5G nations much behind China. China's dream of becoming superpower flows through Taiwan Strait into Pacific, having full control of South China Sea, for which it has drawn 9-dash line against all international rules-based order, particularly UNCLOS. China wants so-called peaceful annexation of Taiwan through show of its military strength, just like its friend Russia did in Crimea, and it has taken a U-turn to support Russia, who has turned an important ally recently in its geostrategic designs. One can see how aggressive Chinese PLA Air Force and Navy is in conducting military exercises or violation of Taiwanese airspace. Besides, Chinese has put pressure on all nations in South China Sea with whom China has maritime boundary dispute. What worries China is the United States of America's growing proximity and military support for Taiwan. US-Taiwan relations are guided by Taiwan Relations Act, which does not guarantee US would defend Taiwan militarily, rather it would offer military equipment and defense services. Amid ambiguity, Taiwan is undoubtedly a pawn in the hands of US. Many believe US may not defend Taiwan militarily if PRC attacks Taiwan. However, Taiwanese stand firm on defending motherland to their last breath. So what makes China wary of not withdrawing its troops at LAC? To my mind, it's a larger strategic game plan. Taiwan is a buffer state between China and US. If Taiwan lost to China, US would expose its military bases to China's military arsenal. Japan will be too vulnerable, and the whole event would pave way for Chinese direct entry into the Pacific. United States' two naval bases, Okinawa and Guam, would come under direct attack of Chinese missiles and H-6 bombers, while threats at Yokosuka, Chennai and Sasebo would increase. So US would not want Taiwan to be annexed by China either peacefully or militarily. However, Chinese are determined, as President Xi Jinping in his 2019 speech interpreted 1992 consensus as Taiwan being unequivocally part of mainland China and subsequent reunification cannot be put indefinitely. So in this situation, US strategy to contain China is to create an iron curtain. China perceives US-led Quad Plus is that iron curtain. However, India's External Affairs Minister Mr. S. Jaishankar recently at Raisina Dialogue clarified what Quad is for. So China has been trying to put a resistance bloc titled as Regional Security Dialogue Platform consisting of member states like China, Russia, Iran, North Korea and Pakistan. Chinese strategy is to deal military with military and diplomacy with diplomacy. It is well strategizing converting diplomatic forum into military alliances if it finds itself to counter such moves by adversaries. So as Chinese President Xi Jinping has said to troops to put all their minds and energy on preparing for war and maintain a state of high alert, besides telling them to be absolutely loyal, absolutely pure and absolutely reliable. My inference is that it was said in Taiwan's context, as there could be overlapping loyalty with Kuomintang. So war with and for Taiwan is imminent, but the question is when. To my mind, China is not going to disengage or move its troops backward until October. And the reason for my contention is that the CCP is going to have its 100th anniversary in July, and there would be Chinese National Day in October. So until October, the nationalistic fervor in China is going to rise to an extent. And there is a growing demand that China should occupy Taiwan forcefully, militarily. So in that scenario, China would also want its other borders to be very packed with its troops, so it can meet any eventuality, because it is very, very wary of the Quad Plus formation. China's ruling party, Communist Party of China, will be celebrating its 100th anniversary on 23rd July this year, at a time when world is crying over millions of deaths owing to COVID pandemic allegedly originated from Wuhan. The nationalistic sentiments are high in China to occupy Republic of China, that is Taiwan, forcefully. As a pursuant of Sun Tzu's Art of War, the insane concept of modern hybrid warfare, China wants to subdue the enemy without fighting. COVID pandemic has indeed helped China achieve this to an extent, and the adversaries appear weaker against its own standing vis-a-vis coronavirus pandemic. So my assessment is that anywhere from July to October, China would use all conventional asymmetrical forces to occupy Taiwan, and to meet any eventuality at Indian border or other fronts, it would use its military with ally like Pakistan and even Pakistan's non-state actors to meet the Indian challenge at territorial and maritime borders. States like Iran has already come into its fold. So to cut it short, I believe that Chinese threat at LAC would loom large at least till October, when Chinese would celebrate its 72nd National Day on 1st October. However, Taiwan would be just the beginning, and China would engage India to pursue Mao Zedong's five-finger policy, that is Tibet being palm, Ladakh, Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan and Arunachal Pradesh being five fingers. However, this would not be a cakewalk for People's Republic of China, even in dreams, as India has more nationalistic fervor and most capable and potent armed forces that it would even think of. So my point is, Indian forces should not lower their guards despite any Chinese disguise bonhomie, and India should be ready for three-front war, that is Pakistan, China and maritime front. Political leadership of the country should invest time, money, energy and will to contain Chinese misadventures at all cost. The view and analysis is completely mine and personal. If you like to share your views or analysis, kindly write in comment box of the video. You may consider sharing and subscribing my channel National Defense and be part of my community. Please do press bell icon if you hit red button. Thanks for watching. Jai Hind, Vande Matram.